50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome everybody to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 298 on this scorcher of a Monday, August the 21st, 2021. Elvis, I apologize. I don't have my up and ante. I don't have all this energy. I'm hurting right now, but good to be with you. How are you doing today?
I'm definitely a little better than you, Dill, but we're doing all right. Could be better. It's like you said, it's beaming outside. So your boy been inside chilling, enjoying the day off. Took the day off. Fuck that. So I'm just here ready to prevent, a nice show for you boys.
Yeah, hell yeah. We got a good show for you guys. Even though it's like a stinker of a division, I figured we'd get out of the way and end with a bang. We'll tackle the NFC South with the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Got some MLB plays as well. And yeah, football's back. I mean, perfect way for our intro song too. Week 0 is upon us. We have college football this weekend. Starts in Dublin, Ireland with the Naval Academy taking on Notre Dame. So I can't wait for that. We got UFC Singapore starting at 5 a.m. on Saturday. So it's going to be a jam-packed Saturday for everyone this weekend. But yeah, football's back. Preseason game tonight. We got the Ravens and Commanders. Little animosity going on. You heard the right tackle going out there?
He basically said, who gives a fuck about preseason? And then the next sentence, he said, we're going to beat them. So
They care.
So I didn't get it. To me, it was hypocritical. But at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, you do care, because at the end of the day, you don't want to hear about it. But if he would have just said, it doesn't matter, we're going to win anyway, okay. But you can't just say, I don't care about the 23-win record, and then be like, yeah, we're going to beat them.
Yeah, 24 wins in a row. They're going for 25 tonight. They are 1-point favorites on the road, taking on the Redskins, I should say. I think I gotta take the Ravens. I think that they hear in the comments they're gonna go out there and kick it to them. I mean, they're only laying 1 point. The total sitting at 37.5 right now. But yeah, I gotta take the Ravens. I think they keep it rolling here tonight. I don't think they like the comments. You're gonna go Redskins.
Dude, at 24 in a row, do they make it a quarter?
Yes.
No. The Washington Redskins take care of business tonight. Rob Rhaenyra and the boys are going to be rolling their boats down, and they're going to take care of business. Handle, the neighbor. They're neighbors at the end of the day, so they're going to show who runs the state. And then, shout out the Commanders to take care of business tonight, 24-1.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Should be a good game tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. Did you watch any preseason games over the weekend, or not really?
Not really. I've seen some, but a full game now. I was able to catch some action. A couple drives, but full. Nah.
Full games. I don't sit there and watch full games. I sit there if the starters are going, I'll watch the quarter. I watched the first quarter of the Jet game, even though they should have won. They lost to the Bucks, but no one played, so I try to watch at least a quarter. Man, Bijan Robinson. We'll talk about him in a little. First play, it seems like a lightning bolt right up the middle, man. The kid's going to be special. I was a little skeptical. I'm not going to lie. It's documented on here a few months into the process. I knew he was going to be a first-round draft pick, but getting him at 10th or 8th overall, I thought it was kind of high, but the kid looks for real. Did you see his first run as an Atlanta Falcon?
Still, that burst is serious. Them young legs is serious. We I know how you felt about it, after draft night, but I said it. I said, if he got drafted that high, it's for a reason, Dill. He's it's a small chance. He might not be the best running back this year, but it's a small chance. This guy might be the future. If they're drafting him that early, Dill. When the last time we saw a running back go top 10, I think it's been, 6 years? 5 years?
Yeah, something like that. Also, Will Anderson blew up the play. I mean,
well, real quick, Dill. I just want to side note. Why is Skylar Thompson still in the league? That's my question to you. And then take off.
I mean, I guess they don't want to play Mike White as their second string because, God forbid, Tua goes down, they need him. So they say, fuck it, we'll throw Skyler as our third string. I think they need to keep 3 quarterbacks. On this roster, I think they need to keep 3. So I don't know. I guess Skyler's, the best alternative that they got. But, yeah, it didn't look good. They did win the game 28-3, but Will Anderson, for the 10-15 snaps that he played, he took on 2-3 defenders. I mean, just give him defensive rookie of the year.
He looked like the best player on the field already.
Oh, by far.
It's preseason. I understand, people, but the fact that he's showing that already, that makes you confident. Like, yeah, we made the right decision trading away next year first round pick and moving on up this year.
Yeah, 100%. And what else did I see? 49ers, they lost to the Denver Broncos. Apparently, Sean Payton said he looks sharp. I don't know if I saw a sharp from him, but he definitely looked better from the first game. I'll say that. But you know who looks bad? Trey Lance. I mean, this guy, I seen like the first quarter and I saw a couple drives. When running quarterbacks, they think there's pressure when there's not really pressure and they get kind of antsy. He had time to sit there and read the play and read the defense and let it kind of develop. And he's fucking the lineup and saying, I'm out already. And I think he's creating more work for himself than is actually needed. And, thank God they drafted Brock Purdy because he looked good. You saw his shoulder. He had shoulder surgery. He took that big hit in the third quarter, I think. He looked pretty good. I don't worry about him, but thank God they drafted him because I think we would be talking about Lynch and the GM if they didn't draft Brock Purdy, because look how much draft capital they traded up for to get Trey Lance. And I know the jury's still out on him, but for right now it just doesn't look good. And these aren't against first stringers. These are against like second, third string guys looking to make the team. So yeah, Trey Lance did not look good from what I saw.
Still, I'm agree with you. It's gonna have to look at John Lynch in that front office, just because they traded so much away to move up to number 3. Remember, we all thought it was Mac Jones they were moving up for, because it was all set and so Trevor Lawrence, and for some reason the Jets were settled in on Zach Wilson. So the question was, is it Mac Jones? Is it Justin Fields? Is it Trey Lance? And then everybody was surprised when it was Trey Lance come draft night. So still, I think if they would have just drafted them in the first round, nobody bats an eye. But the fact that you move, first round pick, second round pick to move up to number 3 overall when you was outside of the top 10 to jump all the way to 3, that's saying something. And then the fact that you go to the NFC Championship game with Mr. Irrelevant. Sorry, I'm calling you Mr. Irrelevant, but Brock Purdy took you there. He won you 7 straight games. Yeah. Let's not forget. He also beat Tom Brady. Let's not forget, people. So honestly, Christian McCaffrey came right when that 7-game win streak took off as well. But still, he still did that as a pure rookie quarterback who definitely didn't get no preseason reps, training camp reps with Jimmy G and Trey Lance. He didn't get much reps with the starters at that. So still, I agree with you 100%. The fact that Brock Purdy looks so good is going to quiet the talks of this possibly Trey Lance being a bust. But I'm telling you right now.
Or possibly John Lynch on the hot seat. Because if they didn't draft Brock Purdy, he would be on the hot seat. This team is ready to win now, and you have a quarterback that is just not good.
Still, this team, we spoke about this. We're going to speak about this team like a championship contender. We both know that contending team doesn't have Trey Lance as the quarterback. I have 100%. Brock Purdy as the quarterback.
Yeah. And it's very interesting because, like you said, he never took first team reps all season last season, all throughout the year. And yeah, you could credit Christian McCaffrey coming in there, but let's not take away anything from Brock Purdy. He did win a lot of those games. He was making smart decisions. He wasn't turning the ball over, and he was winning football games. So yeah, I don't want to take anything away from him, but yeah, obviously he has a great team around him, but quarterback's the hardest position in all of sports. I think we could all agree to that. So yeah, I'm a big Brock Purdy fan, and I'm a little worried about Trey Lance. Now, I guess I pose the question now this way, spinning it forward. if you do think Brock Purdy is the guy moving forward, and you kind of you missed on the number 3 overall getting Trey Lance, do you at least trot him out there and show some tape to try to get something, or you just cut your losses?
No, I'll keep him in there, though. I try to develop him. At the end of the day, you can't just scrap a 3rd overall pick. I understand the Raiders did it, all the way back then, but still, you can't just. Essentially, you're losing 3 picks, 3 players for Trey Lance. So I think you got to take your time, develop him. Even if he's not the week 1 starter this year, maybe he could be the starter next year. Or. I don't know. It's not looking good just because I think as a fan base, you want Brock Purdy to lead your team come week 1 after seeing the success he had last season. If I'm a 49ers fan and I see Kyle Shanahan announce next week, Trey Lance is our starter, as a 49ers fan, I'm going to be scratching my head like, what are you doing? Yeah. This guy just took us to the NFC Championship game.
100%. And then if, hypothetically, say Brock Purdy does get the starting job, which I think he should, and he's earned that, and then he has another successful season, say they get to the Super Bowl, they get to the NFC Championship again, I don't think there should be talk about a quarterback competition. It's Brock Purdy's position to lose at that point.
I think it's Brock Purdy's position to lose right now. It's just, I understand.
You've invested a lot into Trey Lance.
Exactly, Dill. So you can't sit there to tell an owner like, we traded. I know we paid this much for this guy in this such and such, but this guy is our guy. But you can't just, maybe some people in the back are like, bro, we gave up this, and this. He has to be the guy. Think about it.
Yeah.
I think off the rip, Dill, I think they're paying him. I think around $8 million. Brock Purdy's probably getting like $400K.
Yeah.
All seriously, probably less. All jokes aside, let's search that up. So I think
Trey Lance signed a 4-year, $34 million contract, a $22 million signing bonus, and 31 of the $34 million is guaranteed.
And then look what Brock Purdy makes. I guarantee that's a $500K a year, guaranteed.
No. He got a 4-year, $3.7 million deal, but only $77,000 was guaranteed.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Look at that.
That's kind of disrespectful, though, right? They should give him a little raise after what he did.
At the end of the day, he signed the contract. Business is business. So you can't have it both ways. Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if Trey Lance, Jimmy G don't get hurt, this man is just happy to be on the team.
Yeah, and he's getting $77,000 for being the 3rd string.
So you can't have it both ways. But could I make the case Brock Purdy's the most underpaid American in America? Possibly.
And my thing is, their team is structured and built to win right now within this 3 to 4 year, because nowadays teams don't really stick around to each other.
I say 2-year win. Because think about it, though. Just, 4 years ago, this team was in the Super Bowl. So you can honestly, you can make a case.
They're in the window now.
The window's been open for 5 years. They just didn't have the guy.
Good point.
They went to the Super Bowl, beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Always made it to at least the divisional round or the NFC Championship game the last 4 seasons.
And I couldn't make the argument if Brock Purdy didn't get injured, they might have won that game in the playoffs last season against Philly. They were in the game for 2 quarters with Josh Johnson, who basically couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
My thing is, we talk so much in NFL, like the time to win, especially when you're in that window to win when your quarterback's on that rookie deal. They don't even have a rookie deal. They have a rookies deal. Like they're paying literally half a penny on a dollar. Like he's literally making nothing. You have to win now, especially if Brock Purdy is the quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years. So yeah, getting what was it? I'm looking at it right now. 3.73. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. I think he is underpaid, but you're right. I mean, at that point when he was signing the contract, he's like, I'm not going to see no time. They drafted Trey Lance. They got Jimmy G. I'm just happy to be here and get drafted, but he's making the most with his opportunity. So I love to see it. They're in winning mode now, but just wanted to pose that question just because I watched that first quarter and I was sitting here like, damn, I like the 49ers organization, but John Lynch has to be on the hot seat if they didn't grab Brock Purdy. But spinning it forward, we have Josh Jacobs news today. He will end his holdout. He'll be back with the Raiders for week 1. The team doesn't really know when he'll be making his return, but sources close to him and the team expect Josh Jacobs to be ready and playing for the Raiders in week 1. Are you surprised he didn't hold out a little longer?
Yeah, Dill. Honestly, I would have pushed it to week 1. That's
at
me
least.
Personally. At least week 1. Or, week of, show up Thursday night, Thursday morning just to see the plays and then, come back. But, I think it was the right deal. I think, yeah, it's a shame he couldn't get a long-term deal done. But at the end of the day, he can't just leave, a couple million on the table. He's still on that rookie deal. So it's at least a million or two on the contract this season. So maybe, he has another. I'm not gonna say he's gonna lead the league in rushing, but if he just has another top 5 running back season, I think this man's gonna have to at least get some type of deal done with some team out there in open.
Yeah, market. He's definitely gonna get a contract if he does. So now he'll play under the tag, which is not even 10.1. It's $10,091,000. So we'll see. It's good, but Josh Jacobs deserves more. Let's be honest. I don't know if he'll duplicate another.
It's not more, Dill. It's just long term. I guarantee Josh Jacobs will sign a 4-year, $40 million contract, $30 million fully guaranteed. I guarantee he'll sign. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure him and his agent will agree on that deal just because it's secured. Yeah, I'm not getting 14, 15, 16 million a year, but for the next 4 seasons, and I know I have $30 million in my bank account, no matter what.
Yeah, it should be interesting. But, yeah, I was a little surprised they didn't hold out at least a week or 2 longer. Make him sweat a little bit. But, yeah, he will return back. They just don't know when. But he did tell the team he will be there for
another week.
1.
Yeah, show up Monday. Take the rest of the week.
Take the rest of the week. Relax. You're still on vacation. But overall, over the weekend, how'd you do with baseball, with any I guess, preseason or anything you played? I know our boy Aljo didn't get the win.
Yeah, Aljo didn't get the win. Shockingly, your boy went 3-1 in the diamond deal. So, be careful today. Once again, be careful today. I might even parlay my opponents. No cap. But be careful today because your boy had a huge day on Saturday.
Yeah, I usually don't play Sundays. Sundays are very tricky. They're usually at the tail end of like a road trip. Teams are dying to get back home. So didn't really want to play anything, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going to the Yankees-Red Sox game. I have to take the Red Sox. Got the sweep on the road. I loved it. It was great to see all the Yankee fans cry. So it was good there. Went 1-0 yesterday. On Saturday, went 4-1. Cubs got there for a Seattle dog of the day. They swept the Astros. Huge series they swept over the weekend. Minnesota lost to the Pirates. I got to stop betting Minnesota, too. Put that on a note for me whenever I decide to take and be like, Dylan, you said hey. So
only one person on this show could take Minnesota, and it's your boy.
It's you. Mets, big win on Saturday, 13-2, Kodai Senga. And then Braves. We thought it was a trap, but they came back and they won 6-5. So, yeah, overall, really good weekend. EPL went 11-3 on the tail end of the show. I gave a lot of winners out as well. So, yeah, we're looking good here on a Monday here, looking to keep it going towards to this week. So we'll start on the diamond. Only about 8-9 games on the slate today, but I have 3 plays, but I'll let you lead it off. You're the hot one right now, so you lead it off, kid. What do you got for the first play?
Dill, the San Francisco Giants taking on the Philadelphia Phillies at Philadelphia, over under sitting at 8.5. Dill, give me the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line, Dale. It's a little chalky. I understand, people. It's a little chalky, but I think the Phillies take care of business tonight. I would have loved to lay the run line at plus 140, people, but you got Nola on the mound. I understand, but Dale, this Phillies team got to take care of business tonight. At minus 140, I understand it's chalky, people, but the objective is to make money, and I think with the Phillies tonight, people, we will make some money.
And honestly, I don't think it's that big of a prize. You're getting their best. I wouldn't say their best. I'd say their second best. I think Zach Wheeler's better. But you're getting one of their best pitchers at home where they're really good at home, where you kind of want to back Philly. At a minus 145, it's not that bad. I honestly would have thought it would be a lot higher, especially since San Francisco 3-7 their last 10. They're not playing good baseball right now. So no, I do like the pick. My first play, let's go out to Detroit. Detroit will host Chicago Cubs. Cubs minus 120 on the road. Detroit plus 102. Over under is at 9. Give me the short price with Chicago minus 120. I think they should be a bigger favorite. I know Assad's not really the best, but Cubs they're just a much better team right now. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've kind of owned Detroit in the head-to-head series, but watch out for the Tigers. They've won 4 of their last 5. I just don't trust them at home. 26-33 straight up at home this season. So gonna take the better bats. Cody Bellinger's been on fire right now, so gonna take the short price with the Cubs as my first play. E, what is your next play, kid?
Dill, we're going to stay right there in Detroit, Dill. I agree with everything you said, Dill. Give me the Chicago Cubs on the money line. I ended up catching it at minus 123. I love it at minus 120, even better. So, Dill, Detroit is just one of the worst teams. To be honest, the only reason we still, me personally, Melky Cabrera's last year. We got to see the final, you could say, hooray, the final walk-off. Because he's just one of my favorite players of all time. And he's just pure entertainment. Still at 40 years old, Dill. So shout out Mookie, Maggie, but give me the Cubs on the road on the money line, Dill.
Yeah, first ballot Hall of Famer is good. I think he hit a home run last week. It was it's like 506, 507, something like that.
You saw him yesterday when they gave him a guitar in Cleveland and he tried to square up with Jose Ramirez.
That's great. No, I didn't see that. I gotta see that. That's great. First ballot Hall of Famer has to be though, Miguel Cabrera. For my next game, we'll go out to Chicago, the South Side. They will take on the red hot Seattle Mariners. Mariners minus 186 on the money line, plus 156 for the White Sox. Run line minus 1.5, minus 110, plus 1.5 for the Chicago White Sox, minus 104. Over under is at 8. Give me the Seattle Mariners on the run line. I got it at minus 106, at minus 110. I know you really don't want to be laying juice on the run line, but Seattle right now is just a wagon. They just swept the Astros, they swept the Kansas City Royals, and they've done it by the run line. Literally in what's the run line? 6-4 in their last 10. They're 7-3 straight up. While the White Sox, they're literally the reverse. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They're done. They're 25-33 at home. Seattle is a playoff team right now. They're getting hot at the right time with their ace on the mound, Luis Castillo. I think they blow out Chicago. So give me the Seattle Mariners on the run line as my second play. E, what's your third one?
Dill, my last play of the night will be handed to Atlanta, Dill. The New York Mets take on the Atlanta Braves, the complete juggernaut Atlanta Braves, 80-win team Atlanta Braves, by the way, Dill. Give me the Atlanta Braves on the run line, minus 115. Minus 111 now. Shop around, people. Atlanta. What more could I say about Atlanta, Dill? Your Mets, they've been fading. We've been fading the Mets for the past month and a half. Even you came around, started fading your Mets for the past month-ish. So give me Atlanta Braves on the run line, Dill, minus 112.
Yeah, for my last game, I'm going out to the desert. We'll head to Arizona, where they'll be taking on the Texas Rangers. Rangers minus 162 on the money line, plus 136 for the D-backs. Over under is at 9. I got it a little earlier last night. I took Texas minus 130. It's important to get those early numbers because you see how much it will jump. Don't want to take the run line, but you can still get plus money on the run line if you want to take the Rangers. I just think the pitching mismatch between Manapoli and Jordan Montgomery is just the Grand Canyon. Like, Jordan Montgomery is a much better pitcher. As soon as he came over from St. Louis to Texas, he's been rolling. I know they don't look good right now. They've lost 4 in a row. They got swept by the Brewers, Texas. But they're going to turn this around on the road, 30-28 on the road, while Arizona, they haven't looked good at home all season. They have the better offense. They have the better pitcher. I think this is a good spot for them to turn it around. So last play of the day for me is I will take the Texas Rangers. I took them on the money line, but I do like them on the run line to get a little better of odds. E, any more plays for you on the diamond?
Dill, to be honest, it pays me to say this, Dill, but I gotta be a realist. I gotta give this advice to the people out there listening because the show is about making money for free. So, the Red Sox just swept the Yankees, took care of business, Dill. We're facing the Astros tonight in Houston, and guess what? The Houston Astros just got swept by the Mariners. What's the odds? What's the chances the Houston loses 4 in a row and the Red Sox wins 4 in a row? In Houston at that, Dill. We're Javier on the mound. Smart money will be on Houston tonight. Me as a Red Sox fan, I probably would avoid the situation, but I'm going to tell at least the listeners, I think you got to bet Houston tonight on the money line, minus 130 against the Red Sox. I understand Pax is on the mound, but with Javier, after losing 3 straight, and you're back at home, it's the perfect night to get back in the winning column. So I do like Houston Astros tonight, Dill.
Yeah, very tricky game. To be honest, yesterday when I saw plus 120 with Boston, I was driving home from New York, and I was like, let me see who they play tomorrow. Keep it rolling. They play Houston, tough game on the road. I low-key want to take Boston again. I stayed away, but it wouldn't surprise me if Boston won, to be honest. I think Kyle Tucker for Houston will have a good game, but I like the over. 2 hot offenses right now. Even though Houston's been losing, they've been scoring some runs. So I do think we see some runs here tonight. So maybe over 8.5, 9, depending on the number. But yeah, very interesting game going down in H-Town tonight. But yeah, no more picks for you, kid?
No, that was my last play.
All right. Before we get to NFL, we get to the NFC South. Quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Saturday morning workout, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's get to it. NFL two-a-days continue, and we will tackle the NFC South. First 2 teams on the list, the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We will start in Atlanta with the Falcons. Super Bowl plus 55 to 1 to win the NFC, 22 to 1. They have the second best odds to win the division behind the New Orleans Saints at plus 210. Win total at 8.5, minus 132 towards the over, plus 106 towards the under. Make the playoffs, plus 104. Yes, no, minus 128. So relatively kind of a pick 'em there. I don't think you're going to take them to win the Super Bowl or NFC, but the South win total, what are we thinking here with the Atlanta Falcons? Interesting team.
Interesting team, Dill. I agree with that. Like you said on the last show, you do got some pieces, which I like. You got London, you got Pitts, you got Robinson. We alluded to earlier. They got a decent defense. They got some talent on that side of the football. I think it's just the question mark is how ready is Desmond Ritter is. So that's my thing. That's my question is what I saw last season. I didn't like what I saw. Hopefully he takes that next step. Hopefully he puts better film on than what he did end of last season, Dill. But for what I just said, for what I saw, Dill, I gotta go under 8.5. It's just don't get me wrong. It's one of the weakest divisions in football, if not the weakest division. So don't get me wrong. I see wins. And, I'm not going to say this is going to be a very bad team. All I'm saying is that I'll just see 9 wins. Do I give them a shot? Absolutely. But it's a reason why it's juiced for the under.
Guess we're starting on the different sides. I think they have a shot to win the division. I'm going over, and I think they make the playoffs. They have the second easiest schedule in the league, only behind the Saints. Saints have the easiest schedule this season, but they play their teams in the division twice. They also benefit from playing the AFC South, and that the Falcons also benefit from playing Arizona and Washington, 2 teams projected to finish last in their division. So this team struggled mightily on defense. But this year's offensive strength of schedule projects to be the easiest in the league for their defense. They have pieces like we mentioned. And let's not forget, the Falcons spent some money this offseason on defense. They picked up Jesse Bates for their safety position, Calais Campbell, Hall of Famer, Bud Dupree on the edge. So they got pieces here. They also have a new defensive coordinator, Ryan Nielsen. He was the New Orleans defensive line coach as well. So they basically made coordinate changes in an all-out effort, I feel like, to improve last season's performance. I also expect a little better season from Desmond Ridder. You know, we only have a small sample size from him. He only played 4 games, but he does have weapons. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Scott Bijan Robinson. We mentioned him at the top of the show in the backfield. They're favored at 8 games this season. I count 10 wins, and to be honest, I think they're going to shock some people this year on offense. I think they're going to put up some points. I have to go over their win total, and I think the Falcons are live to make the playoffs as well. I'm getting plus money. Only hard games, got acid reflex. Only hard games I really see on the road against Jacksonville. I guess home against Minnesota, that could be hard. They obviously play on the road last game against New Orleans. And then they're on the road against the Jets. Like, they really don't. And all they're away at Detroit as well. But
that's a tough one.
But they have 1, 2, 3. They got like 4 tough games, if that.
Yeah.
All these other games, I think they could win.
In Tennessee is another tough one, Dill. I think that if they were home against Tennessee,
I think they could be better than Tennessee. Especially with the uncertainty of quarterback that we discussed a few weeks ago. What if Ryan Tannehill ain't the guy? Are we going to trust a quarterback to beat this team? I don't know. I really don't know. Like Washington, they could beat.
But do you trust?
I think they could. Yeah. What?
But do you trust Desmond Ridder to also beat the Titans?
I do. Just because I think he has the pieces. I trust Arthur Smith. He calls the plays, and I just think they have too many weapons on offense for them not to be successful.
No,
it was defense for me last season. Yeah. Defense was their issue.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. It's just I still gotta how you told me about Jordan Love. This is how I feel about Desmond Ridder. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I hope the kid is good. Don't get me wrong. That's why I see the wins. I'm not denying the opportunity to hit the over, though. It's just with Desmond Ridder, I just don't see him. For example, like Kyler Murray's back for that November 12th game. I give Arizona a chance to win that game, Dill. If Kyler Murray's starting, let's get that straight on record. If Kyler Murray's starting at home, Dill, I like the Cardinals in that situation. I think at Carolina, that's not going to be an easy game to win. At Colts, I don't think. They're home against the Colts. At Chicago, another tough game. I think those 2 last games to end the season. At Chicago, at New Orleans, those are going to be real tough ones.
Yeah, they're definitely tough on the road. I don't think Arizona. I think they might be the worst team. Them or Houston this season, even with Kyler Murray. I still think they could win, and they have a top 10 offensive line. They're ranked 9th offensive line. They're gonna protect Desmond Ridder. They have a good running back room. They have a good receiving core.
They have a great running back room. Honestly.
Yeah, they have a really good running back room. Yeah. The one question mark is Desmond Ridder going to be the guy? Mm-hmm. Now on defense, secondary is an issue a little bit. They're ranked 25th. Their front seven's ranked 18th. So on defense, we've known that's the issue. But they got a new defensive coordinator. They went out. They signed some people. They're trying to make an effort to be better on defense. And I think with a defensive head coach mind like Arthur Smith, I think they're going to edge out some wins that we really don't see. So I got faith in them. I really do. And they also added Jonell Smith. I know he didn't really play well with you guys, but in a 2 tight end set with him and Kyle Pitts, I think they have a potential to be dangerous. So I hope if Desmond Ridder isn't the guy, then they're going to win 6-5 games. That's obvious. And Kyle Pitts has to stay healthy. I will argue that as well. But if we live in a utopia and he does play good and he makes that second year jump and everyone stays healthy, they have an opportunity, I think, especially in a division that's kind of a coin flip between them and New Orleans. Yeah.
It's up for grabs, honestly.
I think we can make that argument.
Because, if you give Carolina a shot, because remember, Carolina came one game for winning it last year. Remember,
Yeah.
this division was bad last year, Dill. So 9-win team might be able to win the division. That's why I give Atlanta a shot. Don't get me wrong. To get to 9 wins, I just don't see it. But would it shock me to win the division with 8? Brady did it last year.
Yeah, that's a good point. And my thing also is, I'm glad you brought up Carolina, because I was watching a little Bryce Young, and it reminds me a lot like Zach Wilson. Like, he's good when he gets the ball out quick. But when he's back there and no one's open, he looks like he's struggling back there. And you kind of see, damn, DJ Moore could have helped this young guy. And trust me, I'm not an Alabama fan, but I like Bryce Young. I think he's fucking fantastic. But you take away a really good top 10 receiver like DJ Moore that could really elevate Bryce Young. I just think sometimes Carolina is going to struggle this season to put up points. And we saw it, especially if they go after a good defensive line that gets home. Bryce Young's going to be running a lot.
Yeah. But Dill, we also saw Carolina, also have a couple games in a row when they rush for like 180, 200 yards each game. So,
that's
fair. They have a great line. They have a pretty good defense. Remember, they got one of the best linebackers in football in Burns. And you got J.C. Horn, who's just a stud at corner.
Yeah, no, fair point. Let's go to their player props now. Let's start with the quarterback, Desmond Ridder. Numbers are low, rightfully so, though. He hasn't proved anything. He's only played, let me look at the numbers real quick, 4 games. He's completed 73 passes, 63%, threw for 700 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This season, passing touchdowns, 14.5, 2,500.5. He is their number one. They traded away Marcus Mariota. He is the guy. What do you see? Can he make this jump?
Dill, let's start at the 14.5. I'm going over.
Dill, you have to.
At 14.5, to me, it's disrespectful. I understand this kid only had 2 and 4 games last season, but that's a rookie. It was a bad team. I think starting off fresh, having the confidence, especially, the coaching staff being behind you, like, yeah, you're our guy. You have Drake Lucky, healthy Kyle Pitts. B.J. Robinson is going to be helpful coming off the backfield, Dill. So, Dill, at 14.5, to me, the number's 1 too short. And to be honest, even if it's Desmond Ridder, I think it's still disrespectful to be an NFL starting quarterback. You telling me he's not going to not average, but you're not telling me he's not going to at least throw a touchdown a game? You telling me he's not going to have one game when he throws for multiple touchdowns? That's what you're telling me, Vegas? He's not going to have one touchdown game? I just feel like 14.5 is literally too low and disrespectful, even for Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, no, I agree. 14.5. And the odds are telling you it should. It's at I forgot to say the odds, excuse me. 14.5 over -126. Passing yards -112 both ways, 2,500. Even that seems a little low with all they have around them. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, who was almost 1,000-yard receiver his rookie season. I think he got 886, almost 900 yards with 2 inaccurate quarterbacks. Disrespect.
Real quick, people. Dylan knows I'm a math wizard. If he threw for 700 yards in 4 games, that's 2,800 yards in 16 games. He should go over this mark.
Good job. I mean, that would have taken me the whole episode to do. But I feel like I gotta go over on principle, just because I know they have Bijan Robinson and they will run the ball. Trust me, they will. But they also have a lot of pieces that they will throw the ball. Like I said, they have Hollins. He's a rookie. They have Scotty Miller in the slot. He's proven he could catch big-time balls. Kyle Pitts, when healthy, he's a top 5. I know, pause. And Drake London, who's a deep threat that is one-on-one, very unguardable, I think. I was not high on Drake London when they drafted him above Garrett Wilson, but he went out and balled with 2 not inaccurate. I don't want to say inaccurate, but inconsistency at the quarterback position. I'll say that. So I got to go over based on principle. I like the touchdown, passing touchdowns a little more than 2,500, but I gotta go over that. We will transition to Bijan Robinson. This would be his rookie season. Big things from him. Everyone expects big things. They drafted him high. He's the running back for the future. And they have Aguilar in the second back and they're running back too.
And let's not forget Cordell Patterson as well.
Yes, special teams gadget guy as well. So, yeah, I mean, this running back room has to be top 5 at least with all the talent they have. But Bijan Robinson rushing yards 1,075.5, rushing touchdowns at 7.5. His rushing yards minus 112 both ways. Rushing touchdowns at 7.5, minus 126 towards the over, minus 102 towards the under. Can we see a first-year 1,000-yard runner?
Dude, that's my question. It's not even 1,000. You can basically asking them to go for 11.
Yeah.
So, dude, I ended up staying away from the rushing total just because I don't get me wrong. I expect him to run the hell out of the ball. Don't get me wrong. Would it shock me if it's over 1,000? No, it wouldn't. But I expect him to be more dynamic in the offense. I expect him to catch it out the backfield like we alluded to earlier. I don't think they have a good running back room. I think they have a great running back room.
Yeah, me too.
So I feel like he's not gonna be. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna be RB1, but you still got Cordell Patterson. You got Egler there as well. Those are all solid pieces. So I just feel like he's gonna be asked to catch the ball, be in motion, maybe play the slot sometimes. Who knows? But I just feel like he's gonna be utilized more than just running the ball.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's definitely going to be the RB1. I will say for fantasy purposes, you have to draft Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
You have to draft him. The guy, he's 5'11", 220, runs a 4.4. It was unofficial at the 40, but man, the guy's a superstar, man. And, I know he only rushed for, he had 4 carries for 24 yards, but he also caught the ball out of the back. He had a couple catches in preseason as well. So like Elvis is saying, like, he's a dual threat. I mean, you draft a guy in the top 10, the guy's going to do well. I don't know if he gets 1,000 yards, but I do think he gets over the touchdown. 7.5, I think, especially at the goal line with essentially a rookie quarterback. Take some pressure off of him. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. They have a top 10 offensive line. Let's not forget that. They have a good offensive line. So I think especially down at the red zone, down at the goal line, they're going to run the ball a lot with maybe Tyler Aguilar or Bijan Robinson. But I like his over touchdowns. 1,100 his rookie season. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I could also see him going for 900, 1,000 yards as well and still have a very good season. So going to stay away from his rushing yards. I agree there, but I do like his rushing touchdowns over 7.5.
Let's go to my last play for Bijan Robinson will be, I already put it in, people. Dylan saw me put it in. Bijan Robinson, offensive rookie of the year at plus 300, people. Lock it in now. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be dynamic. It took him 8th overall, and I can honestly say he's going to be the number 1 option on this offense if it's either running or passing.
I am trying to find
season awards.
Yeah, season. Bijan, he is the favorite at plus 300. Bryce Young, plus 400. Anthony Richardson, plus 800. Jahmyr Gibbs, we just talked about from the Detroit Lions, sneaky at plus 900. CJ Stroud, my boy, 10-1, and then JSN. People don't want to pronounce his name, so people just abbreviate nowadays at 14-1. I think he's a sneaky fantasy guy. We'll talk about him over the weekend, but yeah, I don't mind it. I think if he breaks out and has a good year, but plus 300, I kind of want a bigger number. Did you get plus 300? You got a little better of a number.
I got a little better of the number. Let me sign in and tell you that number. But I got it at I said 300 just because that's what the audience is available to get it today. I ended up getting it active. I got it at plus 12. Oh no, I'm sorry, Dill. I have another
player of the year.
I got offensive player of the year, Dill, and then I did this one is the sprinkle. This is the one I sprinkled on. I did most regular season total rushing yards at plus 1,200, Dill. So I'm gonna be honest, I gotta go.
You gotta go over. I was just gonna say
go
you got to,
because I forgot I put this in. I thought it was the offensive rookie. No, it's to lead the whole league in rushing.
You're bought in. You're a BJ Robinson fan.
But he could lead the league in rushing and still go under.
Yeah,
I doubt it though.
Yeah, I doubt it. Let's go to Drake London, Great season his rookie year. Played every game, knock on wood. He did not get hurt. I thought he was very good. 72 catches for 866 yards, average 12 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. This season, his prop receiving yards, 800.5, -112 both ways, and his receiving touchdowns, 4.5, -116 towards the over, -110 towards the under. I got to go over his yards. 800, they put it, I would at least put it at 850, at least put it a little under, but they put a whole, I guess, 2 games. I don't think that's right. I think Desmond Ridder, I believe in him. I think he is going to have a better season this season. And yeah, you might make the argument Bijan's their number 1, but in a passing game, Drake London is their number 1 option. So I think one-on-one, the guy has a tall frame. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a fucking big boy. In the red zone, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to stop him, but yeah, I got to take over 800.5 receiving yards. And for him to get one more touchdown, -116, I'll sprinkle a little on that too. I expect a big year from Drake London. What do you got?
Dill, give me the over receiving yards, 800, just 800 fat and a half. To me, it's a little disrespectful, Dill, just because you telling me this guy's going to have a worse season than his rookie season, which I highly doubt, Dill. So I like Drake London over. It wouldn't shock me. It goes over 1,000 yards. I understand it all depends on Desmond Ridder, performance. But if this guy was able to go for 850 plus last year with the amount of quarterbacks he had and Mariota, still I think one solid quarterback, keep getting that record in. I think him and Desmond Ridder will possibly go over 1,000. The touchdowns I did end up touching just because I feel like they have so many options when it comes to the red zone. You got, like you said, Kyle Pitts. To me, Kyle Pitts is yet to have a breakout season. This is going to be his 3rd year, so it wouldn't shock me if he breaks out. But I think in the red zone,
his first season was good. He didn't get hurt. He caught over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
he just didn't have the touchdowns. He had one touchdown. I agree. Well, let's transition. That's a good transition to Kyle Pitts. Receiving yards, 675.5, -112 both ways. His receiving touchdowns is at 4.5, even money towards the over, -120 towards the under. So like I said, his rookie season, he caught 68 balls for 1,026 yards. He only had 1 touchdown. That was the, I guess you could say, knock on him. He didn't find the end zone. But last season, he got hurt, only played 10 games. He had 28 catches for 356 yards. He actually had more touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. 675.5. I got to go over that because I believe in Kyle Pitts. When they drafted him out of Florida, I thought he was, on pure talent, I thought he might have been the best player in the draft. I'm not going to lie. He had the size. He's 6'6", 250. Like, that's a big fucking guy. Like, I don't know tight ends that are that big that you could, and that has his speed as well. So I'm a big Kyle Pitts fan. I think if he can stay healthy, he's going to have another 1,000-yard year. Now, touchdowns, 4.5. He's never gotten even close to this. So I understand the odds, why it's juiced to the under. I would lean towards the under if I was going to bet it. I'm just going to stay away. I'm more confident in his receiving yards. I do think he'll have a bounce back year. I have to because I have confidence in Desmond Ridder this season. So I got to go over his receiving yards.
Still, smashing the under 4.5 touchdowns like you alluded to. He never got close to this number. I'm shocked that it's at 4.5. Even though he should be the number 1 red zone target, somehow he doesn't find his way in the end zone for some reason, which is shocking to me. But still, the 675.5, still, this one is so tempting, though. I love the over in this scenario. I love it. It's just, like you said earlier, if he's healthy. And can Desmond Ridder, finding him enough to get him to about 700 yards still. I love the over. I expect them, if healthy, to be around, somewhere around 800 yards, possibly 2-3 touchdowns still. It's just, do I love the bet? No, but I do expect him to go over still.
Yeah, I think if you're gun to your head, I think you have to take the
exactly
over.
Gun to my head. Like, for example, if I had $100 burning like literally on fire, and they were like, the only way you could put it out is if you bet it. I wouldn't bet it, but still, I like it more than I don't like it. Let's just say that.
Oh my God.
I love the play, don't love the bet.
Wow. Okay, so we just mentioned Jonathan Taylor at the top of the hour. Adam Schefter is just reporting right now. I wish we had breaking news. Like breaking news. Colts have given all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade. Other teams are now weighing whether to make offers, and Colts have already received phone calls.
You know what's crazy, Dill? I drafted Joe Mixon yesterday instead of Jonathan Taylor.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart.
Yeah, it's just uncertainty about if he goes to, let's just
Who needs a running back though?
Exactly. One and two, about if he goes somewhere and just horrible offensive line just to have the productivity that he was getting in Indianapolis. So I think it's a question mark there. Yes, do I feel like is it wrong with how they're handling the situation? Absolutely, but you got to be realistic. How many teams this late in the season are in the market for
There are injuries in preseason. There's 2 more weeks of preseason.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he won't get traded. I just feel like he's still gonna be unhappy because he still wants a long-term deal done. So if I'm a team, I'll trade for you, yeah, but we're gonna have to renegotiate come spring.
Now let's take a look at the Colts real quick. I just want to, because this is breaking news. I'm literally getting it right as we speak. A look at the current Colts running back room without Jonathan Taylor. You got Kenyon Drake. You got Deion Jackson. Zach Moss. He's recovering from a broken arm. Evan Hull. Jake Funk. Like, I don't know these guys.
Deion Jackson is all right. He's all right.
Kenyon Drake's had spurts in his career, but Indianapolis, they also hosted Kareem Hunt on a visit. So maybe they could do that, but notable returns in running back trades over the years. Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey, as we know, to the 49ers last season for a second, third, and fourth round picks and a 2024 fifth round pick. So 4 draft picks. Eagles traded LaShawn McCoy back in 2015 to the Bills for linebacker Kiko Alonso. So I don't know. I really don't know what they could get. They have to get at least 3 to 4 draft picks. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's an all-pro. Like, he's a top 5 running back in the league. So you're going to have to get something. And maybe they trade him to this team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go to our next team to win the Super Bowl, 75-1, NFC 50-1. They have the worst odds of the NFC South, plus 750. Win total, 6.5. Over plus 116 to the under minus 142 to make the playoffs, plus 360, no, minus 500. I guess the only thing we can really take advantage of is the win total. You got any faith in this team to win 7 games?
Dill, I try to, Dill, but you gotta remember this team won 8 games with Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. They won 8 games last year. Do I expect this team to be better than last year? Absolutely not, Dill. As of right now, we're yet to know who's going to be the starting quarterback. This is about to be week 3 in preseason, and we're yet to come down in decision who's going to be the number 1. Dill, is it going to be Kyle Trask? Is it going to be Baker Mayfield? I like Baker Mayfield. I think you like Kyle Trask more. Dill, I'm not going to bank on either of them. Do I think Baker Mayfield could win a couple games? Yeah. Do I believe Kyle Trask could win you a couple games? Yeah. Do I believe they're going to go you over wins? Absolutely not, Dill. So give me the under. Dill, this is one of the best unders all season long. Just because this team won 8 games with Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. It's his full name if you didn't know.
Yeah, this under and the Las Vegas Raiders are my 2 favorite unders of the season. I got to go under here as well. I think it's going to be a long year for the Bucs and their fans down in the Tampa region. Ever since Brady left, we've seen a downgrade here at the position for them. And financially as well, the Bucs have the largest dead cap allocation with over $75 million. That reduces the team's ability to upgrade anywhere they need to, and they have a lot of holes in this team. They have a bottom offensive line. They struggle run blocking. They finished 25th in pass blocking last season. That's extremely worrisome, especially whoever they start, whether it's Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield. I think they'll start with Baker, and then he's going to suck so bad they're going to have to put Kyle Trask in. But, Brady was last season, Brady was able to hide some of that offensive line problems. He got the ball out quick. He really didn't get sacked much. I don't know if that's going to happen this season, even though their schedule's kind of on the easier side compared to last season. The Bucs' 3 unique opponents are significantly harder than any of their divisional rivals. By winning the division last year, they got the Bucs, they got the Bills, they got the 49ers, and they got the Eagles, who all rank top 5 in Super Bowl odds. So they also have 5 games in which they have a rest disadvantage, including 3 games which their opponents are coming off Thursday night games, which are, like I said last week, they're like kind of mini buys. So too many holes in this team. I don't want to be this disrespectful, but I counted like 4 or 5 wins. I just don't see where the offense is going. I don't see where points are going to come from. Like, they play Eagles at home, hard game. Even their first game on the road against Minnesota. I know we're both a little down on Minnesota, but I still think that's a hard place to play. And then they're on the road against Indianapolis. They could start legit 0-4 for their bye. And then they come off their bye and they have Detroit. I know it's home, but that's not a tough game. Then they go to Orchard Park. Bills, that's a tough game. They're on the road against the 49ers as well, So I just don't see. I think they could beat Indianapolis. I think they could maybe split Carolina.
Maybe split the division. Maybe.
Like,
Dale, I see six wins max.
And I think you're being very generous, to be honest.
I see 4 or 5. The only reason I gave him 6 because it's always gonna be an injury somewhere where maybe the opponent is down a quarterback for the game or something. So you always got to be optimistic somehow. But Dale, I don't see more than 6. The fact is that 7.5 is like, what's going on?
Quarterback, they have the worst quarterback situation, I would say, between the two. Offensive line, they're coming into the season ranked 30th. Running back room ranked 31st. Receivers, they're ranked 13th. They have a good receiving core, but Russell Gage just got sidelined for the whole season. So that they're down Russell Gage, a really good slot guy. Front 7 is middle of the pack. They're ranked 16th. Secondary, they're ranked 15th. Defense, they've always been solid. They've kept them into a lot of games last season. And as much as I want to stick up for Todd Bowles, and I do like Todd Bowles, I just don't think he's a head coach. I think he's a great DC. As a head coach, I just don't know if he's the right guy. So there's a lot of holes. I just don't see 7 wins. I don't even see 6. And I think you're being very, very generous. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they're in rebuild mode right now. So yeah. And as for player props, really, you can't take any advantage of quarterbacks because there's uncertainty there. No running back props either. Only thing you can take advantage is the 2 wide receivers known as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But real quick, happy birthday to Mike Evans. It's his birthday today. 30 years old, the big 3-0. Evans has played 9 seasons in the NFL. He's gone over 1,000 yards receiving in every single year. No other player in NFL history has achieved more than 6 in a row to start a career. He has been this is leading up to it. I think you can make the point he's a Hall of Famer right now. He has been producing since day one, since coming here. The career record belongs to no other than Jerry Rice, who had 1,000 yards in 11 straight seasons. He's done it in 9. We will start with the birthday boy, Mike Evans. His receiving yards is at 875.5 minus 112 both ways. His receiving touchdowns is at 5.5. They make it 10 years in a row. I mean, what has shown you? I know it's Baker and Kyle Trask, and I think that's why the number is so low. But even last season, I know they had the GOAT, but I got to go over. Mike Evans is just too good. He stays healthy, too. He has the only year he played less than 15 games was in 2019, where he still caught for 1,157 yards. He has his least year was 2020, where he caught 1,006 yards. That's the lowest he's ever caught.
And Jameis led the NFL in turnovers that year.
So I got to go over. I think he has 10 straight years where he gets 1,000. He's their number one option on offense. His touchdowns, though, 5.5. It might not seem like a lot, but, well, he has gone over this number in 6 straight years.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was going to say.
But 2017, he had 5. Maybe I'll go over. Even his rookie year, he had 12. But, yeah. I'd rather go over his receiving yards, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went over his receiving touchdowns as well.
Still, give me Mike Evans over receiving touchdowns, over receiving yards. This guy is just 1,000-yard machine still. Don't get me wrong. Would I be shocked he's not able to reach that milestone with bad quarterback play? I wouldn't be shocked at all, Dill. But Mike Evans has been 1,000-yarder every season for 9 seasons straight, Dill. I expect it to make it 10. Somehow, some way, the team will make sure Mike Evans gets to 10 in a row, Dill. So give me Mike Evans over 875.5. To me, it should have been at around 950. Have some more respect for Mike Evans. Mike Evans over 5.5 receiving touchdowns, Dill. And then I'm going to end it off, Dill, where our boy Chris Godwin, Dill. I like his over receiving yards as well, sitting at 800, but I'm going to go with his reception. This is the guy who's going to move the needle. This is the first down machine. Mike Evans is the big play master. Give me Chris Godwin over 77.5 receptions, Dill. He's just going to be moving the first down mark every time, Dill. I think Chris Godwin always averages around 8 to 10 receptions, and then Mike Evans is going to hit you with the big bomb plays and go over touchdowns.
Yeah, good call, because we hit it last season, and I think 2 seasons ago too. Reception props for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Godwin was always the high reception, but yeah, downfield, big play, you want to hit Mike Evans. So yeah, that's a good call. He's gone over this in his last 2 seasons. He caught 104 balls last season for 1,023 yards. He's gotten over 1,000 yards. He's gotten over this number. What was it? 800.5, right?
800.5.
He's gone over this number except his rookie season. In the rookie season, he's got 525 yards. But other than that, he's gone over it in 5 straight seasons. So, yeah, I like that as well. I like his receptions as well. What is it, 77.5?
So 78, he should be around 80 to 100, honestly. 100 is a little out there, but to me, he should be anywhere from 80, 85.
My one concern with Chris Godwin is he is the one that tends to get hurt a little more.
It's
than
those
Mike
slants
Evans.
in the middle of the field, man. Concussions.
Yeah, so 2000, it all started in 2019. He only played 14 games. Then 2020 played 12 games. Then 2021 he played 14. Last season he missed 2 games. He's missed at least 1 or 2 games every season. Yeah. That's my one issue with Chris Godwin, but I don't know about the touchdowns, 4.5. But I definitely like his receiving yards. 800 seems a little low for a guy that's gone over in 5 straight years. And I know the quarterback is the issue, but they don't have anyone else. They legit only have these 2. Like, I just think they have to go over it. So, yeah, I'm high on. Oh, by the way, did you know that little nugget I gave where he is the first player since year? Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah, I know he always every season he's been 1,000-yarder and only Jerry Rice has one. I knew that.
Yeah, he's one step closer. So hopefully he makes it 10 this season. But yeah, that's going to do it. Elvis, thank you. We'll finish off the NFC South this weekend. College football is back. We will have week 0 plays as well as baseball plays for the weekend. But any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Nah, Dale, let's just have a good night on the diamond and then roll that over to the weekend. Let's go.
Let's fucking go, kid. That's going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys over the weekend. So follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. You guys can also find us on YouTube every Monday and Saturday, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend. Tell a friend, everyone. Have a great week. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.